Good morning, my friends. How are you? So I have been working on the hot tracker and it's brought up some stuff, like just, some things that I'm thinking about. And I want to share that with you. So I remember when the pandemic hit and all of a sudden things really changed quickly, right? So no longer were we able to, for example, hug people, and we no longer could smile at people, and we, through our masks, and like our way of communicating changed really quickly. And I remember at that time thinking, like, I wish I knew the last time I saw that person was the last time that I was going to be able to give them a hug, or the last time that I was going to be able to, whatever it was, right? And then I think about and how we change and transform as people. Like, do you ever know, like, the moment when something changes in you, and you no longer do like that other thing anymore, right? And I will, think about like physical things that we do, right? And when something happens and you're like, ooh, I shouldn't do that anymore, right? Whether it's, for me, like when I broke my back, that was like a few of these moments happened that I can't ski anymore, right? If I knew or snowboard, I was a snowboarder, the oldest lady on the hill. And I knew that I could not snowboard anymore, or go on a horse anymore, or do a few other things. And I remember feeling at the time, I wish I knew that that was going to happen. Like, that was my last time. And I think about that, like with remembering things and getting things down, and when, like, in evaluating when things change, right? Because, I'm in this kind of situation with someone where we're like butting heads on something, and we both are very ingrained in our decision. And we used to be able to work things out. And I was like, when did it happen that we both became so set in our opinions and in our feelings about this, that we can't meet in the middle? Right. And again, I think it's got to be figure outable. But this awareness, this feeling that I had about it being like the last time, like, when did it change? Anyway, as I thought about this, I realized that one of the things that happens for us, and let me make this big enough for you if I can, is we need to, all right, I don't know if I can get it any bigger. So you're going to have to do it on your side. And I'm going to flip over to the screen for it. Okay. So one thing that we can do to kind of be aware of this is we can start journaling. Okay. And I'm going to just share with you some of the things I'm doing for journaling, right? So one is Confessions of an Agent Rising. So one of the things I realized is I need my stories, my story bank, for when I teach in a one place. So one of the things I thought I would start doing was starting to tell the story. So, for example, I had and I'm going to make this font bigger for us just so that we can see it, right? So I had a situation last week with an agent, right? The story. So worked with an agent who lied on their lied on their listing, misrepresented gross living area, right? When I spoke with him about it, or her, he threw it on me. Okay, so the outcome of it, right? So the outcome of it was I recognize, okay, so I don't want it to be in that font. I'm going to go down to that next thing, right? So this is set for it to be. I recognized we have a lot of work to do to enhance the level of professionalism. And as I'm typing this, right now, as I'm writing it in, I realize that should actually be the lesson I got, right? So I'm going to change it. Right now, the outcome actually ended up being that through a lot of hard work, I was able to get deposit back, and we did not move forward. So this is not the whole story, but this is, and again, where I would find my my story would be up in the story part, right? Writing out the whole thing so I can remember it. So what quote do I want to use to be my story on this, right? Is so my quote would be, does a rising tide, this is one of my favorite quotes, a rising tide elevate all boats. All right. Because that boat did not get elevated by me. And so the answer is not always. That's back to my lesson here, right? Was that a rising tide? So that's how I'm going to leave that. Now, that is how my Confessions of an Agent Rising. There's something that could be there for you. That part right there is not in the template, but I figured I would share what I was doing. So yesterday, as my day started, I started journaling, and this is how far I got. Today feels like a bad day, right? And so I don't remember what it was, honestly, that made me feel like it was a bad day. But had I written more, I could have broken it down. All right, let's just say, if I remember correctly, I had to waste 2 precious hours that I needed for productive time, right? Finding out if Puppy was afraid of thunder and lightning. All right, so that was what irritated me yesterday morning, was I was worried about the dog, and I had to go home and get the dog and check the dog. I brought the dog here. The dog, it irritated me in the day, right? So what was I grateful for? Now I put this in because we need gratitudes every day. We need to be, or I think that our days are better when we talk about what we're grateful for, right? So what am I grateful for? What was I grateful for on this? Is having a reliable car, having an extra cage or whatever, crate. Being able to have help organizing office, and so forth, right? So the reason that I'm showing you this is that, and I'm going to take this back out again, right? So the reason I was showing you that is that this journal packet inside the Hot Tracker will give us the opportunity to be more aware of when the transitions happen, or more aware of when that last time might be, or more aware of where we pivoted. Okay. So why are we talking about this today? And why now, right? I think it's important to start, right? So maybe today nothing big is happening in your life, and nothing big is going to transition today. But if we don't start creating that ritual of writing it down, watching it, tracking it, then we're going to miss that moment, right? Or it's very highly likely we will. So anyways, it's all about the precious present. It's all about us doing that, gives us energy, takes our energy away, to developing into creating that life. And again, my goal in all of this is for money freedom, yes, but time freedom, right? Spending the time the way that is going to maximize the satisfaction of my life, my profession, moving forward. And that's what I want for you too. Okay. So this is part of what's going in the Hot Tracker. And I'm working out a couple kinks. It's just about, I've done my videos to show you how to do it. I just pulled it up on my iPad and I had a little trouble with it. I don't know if I didn't update my app accordingly. So I'm going to work with that. And then I'm going to send it out to those of you who want to be my testers on this. All right. So just to remind you, and I'm going to actually show you what I'm talking about is, well, I can't get it fast, so I'm not going to do it. I took the Rise Tracker and I made it hot, which means you can do it on your laptop, on your phone, on your computer. And so what you can do is on your iPad, hopefully, if I can figure it out, is you can, and I think it just needs an update, but is that you can across the board start using that tracker, that planner, right? So that we can, again, maximize what it is and optimize our time to maximize what it is that we want in our lives. And that ultimately is the bottom line on the big why on why we're doing this. So again, work in progress. This is what I'm learning today. And if you are interested in being one of my testers, I have room for about 1 or 2 more people. Then let me know. And you can DM me or you can write it in the chat here. I don't care. And it's, again, I need you to tell me what's not good about it too, right? Because if I'm going to put this out there, I don't want just people saying, hooray, yeah, Kate, great job. I want people who will give me the feedback. So thanks so much, my friends. And it's a weekend away. It's an anniversary celebration weekend. So I always go in the deep thoughts before this, right? Because this is when we plan our next year, like when we put some relation goals together and, relationship goals. So it gets me in the thinks, gets me in the feels. All right. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next Monday.